What is up, guys? Welcome back to another follow-up video, and today I'm bringing you another episode of our mod series. And this isn't really a top 5 mod, but we're going to be doing a best glitches for improving your gameplay and helping it run better, because there are a lot of frame rate issues if you have the normal PS4 for the Fallout version, and they can experience frame rate issues if you've gotten pretty advanced inside of your game. And also, while I'm doing that, I figured I would improve the gameplay by making things more light and things like that. Just some little things, nothing going to affect your game too much. We're just going to make your game a lot more graphic, not as demanding in a way, but also make your game look better at the same time. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
With my two fists divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh, yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around.
Okay, guys, so the first mod that we have is the Improved Lighting Ballistics mod for the PS4 by Ryan JP89, and this is going to improve lighting and projectiles such as bullets, lasers, gauze, plasma rifles, lasers, and flares, etc. It also improves lighting for explosions and a few other changes. And if you guys were wondering, this also does work with DLC weapons. Now, I personally like this mod just because it adds a lot more lighting to your bullets and stuff like that, so whenever you shoot your plasma rifle, it's going to be able to be a lot more visible at night, especially like if you have like a fully automatic weapon. It's going to be very, very visible, and I like the way it looks a lot. It's one of those mods that it's not really insane, it's not going to affect your game very much, but it also just makes it a lot more fun. And even like if you're just using a normal weapon, it also makes it light up a lot more, not only just lasers and plasma weapons. Not to mention the explosives in this game look really well with this mod, especially like fragmentation grenades or plasma grenades, stuff like that. Looks really, really good, especially at night, and that goes along for the weapons as well. And you're not going to have to worry about putting this in any specific place of your load order, such as the bottom and stuff like that, because a lot of mods like this do demand that, but you can place this anywhere in your mod load order, so that's really good. It also does not require any DLC, stuff like that, so overall it's a really, really good mod that's going to increase your gameplay and make it feel a lot more immersive. The next mod we have is the Weather Redux mod for the PS4, and this mod adds in heavy varieties of storms such as rain, fog, and rad storms. It also adds in plasma storms that are storms caused by high bursts of radiation. Occurs less frequently than radiation storms though. It adds in the dust storm, and this storm is a violent wind and dust that blot out the landscape. There's no negative effects, and it's uncommon. There are also thunderstorms that are just a rainstorm with lightning and thunder that can occur during the day along with the nighttime, and you're going to see them a lot, as I noticed, because like every time I'll like go to bed and sleep the next day, they'll be raining, and sometimes they can turn into a thunderstorm, and I just think they happen a lot more common than the other ones do. And I just think this mod is super immersive just because I think there's just a lot more weather, and I feel like in the base game they don't do that enough justice, and overall it's just a really good mod that's not going to require you any DLC, or it's not going to be incompatible with any other mods, and it's not going to affect your game that much either. Okay, the next mod we have is a Water Redux mod by Lamanize, same guy who made the last one. This mod is a water redux that has immersive graphics modification to retake the water of the wasteland as appropriate for the lore and style. It does this by making the water more realistic in many ways as it would naturally appear, and certainly it would appear 200 years after the bombs fell. Some water is cleaner and their clarity is visible. Other water, such as pools that are in stagnant water, is going to remain dirty and stuff like that. And I just like the way the mod looks in general, because the water is just so much more cleaner, and if it's in like a river or a fast moving stream, you can actually see the water moving in itself. And when you go underneath the water, it's a lot more visible. It's not going to be like really dark and murky like it normally would be. And I find that really helpful for finding things underwater, such as chests and hidden things that Bethesda has put into the game. He made the water clarity from the surfaces increase so you can see farther into the water, but visibility still tapers off in depth. In some areas this effect is more noticeable than others. Primarily areas as the water is assumed to be cleaner, such as the Charles River and water around Sanctuary. Surface silt and fogginess have been adjusted for some water types too. This mod is going to make your game look a lot better, and combining these with the other mods is going to look phenomenal. Also, it's not going to require any other DLC, and it's not going to affect any of your mods at all. It may affect some of the mods that do like mess with water maybe, but the mod creator doesn't really state anything. I wouldn't think it would, but I mean, you just never know with mods sometimes, because they can act funny or not work if you have like other mods interfering with them. Our next mod is the Pipboy Light Overhaul by Schultz11, and this adds shadow casting light to the Pipboy to give it more immersive flashlight feel. This was part of his other mod, but he decided to take it out and make it one of its own, and the reason I like this mod so much is because it adds shadows in and it makes it feel like you're actually using a light. It also adds power armor headlamp. This is just one of those small mods that doesn't really add anything to the game, but it just makes it a lot more cool, and as you can see here in this building, it's going to make it look a lot more real because there's like light shining off of the walls, and like the walls are casting shadows around it, and this doesn't require any DLC obviously, and it doesn't affect any other mods no matter what it is, I'm pretty sure. So overall, it's just a really, really good mod and something little to add to your game that's going to affect it a lot. The next mod we have is a Sanctuary Bridge and Wall Fix by LilyMads90, and this just fixed the Sanctuary Bridge with a nice and clean one, also fixed the wall against the river and the road just by the bridge that gives you all clean and tidy look. Nothing else in Sanctuary has been touched and has been tested and debugged with a new nav mesh in the bridge area. Just a little tidy up on the bridge and the wall to sign the Sanctuary to give it a nice look, and he did update this a few times and now it leads to Vault 11, that one has been fixed as well. So as you can see here, they basically just replaced all the wood planks that have been missing and the railings that have been broken over time. There's also a mod that kind of fixes the bridge up and makes it look a little bit rickety, like they just put metal plaques over the holes and stuff like that. I also like that one, but I figured this one was a good one as well. And as you can see here, the broken wall has been fixed because he replaced all of the broken little bricks and things like that along it, so now it's just completely full, and I think this looks a lot better. It's not really too immersive, but I did feel it looks a lot better than normally, and it's not really that much of a mod that's going to affect your game all that much. Also, as you can see here, it goes all the ways, but it does like kind of stop. But if you do go up to the little river by Vault 111, you can see that that bridge up there has been fixed as well. That one is just the same as the Sanctuary one. They just placed planks over it to fix the holes in the railings and stuff like that. And this guy said this mod shouldn't really affect anything else, just as long as it doesn't really change the bridge or the wall. If it does, he said, just put it above the one that's going to affect it. So if you have a mod that's going to affect the bridge and wall, that's not this mod, equip that one, and then after that, put this one above that one. So, and then after that, it should work. And as you can see here, the bridge looks fine, looks pretty great, and now you can walk across it without it being holy and stuff like that. Overall, it's a really great mod, and it's going to make your settlement look a lot better. This next mod is the Immersive Gameplay mod for the PS4 by ERES Crystal, and the description of this mod says, "You start strong as you fight for a war hero. With your pre-war basement standing fully stocked in preparation for the worst, your eventful promise of vanilla godhood has been stripped away, and what progress have you made strength and security in measure of compared to before?" So basically, the gameplay is just faster and more punishing and less predictable than the normal game. And the pre-war basement can be located in the root cellar behind the house in Sanctuary, where most mods are located at. This one's just going to fully stock you with a whole bunch of cool weapons that you can use to fight the upcoming people, because they have a lot more power and there's a lot more of them. And if you go into like a random place, there'd normally be like a few raiders, you know. This time it's going to be a whole bunch of raiders, whole bunch of different kinds of raiders, and there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff too. He even added different types of raiders, like new names and things like that, as some partial features for this mod. And as you can see in the gameplay, you can make things look really, really creepy if you add in the Weather Redux mod like I have now. It's during a storm. I think it's a dust storm. I'm not really sure. I haven't really learned all the things yet, but it can get really creepy because there's so much enemies and it can get really dark and really cool, and it just makes the game a lot more fun. Not to mention, when it's really dark like this, you can actually have an excuse to use your Pipboy flashlight in the mod for that, which is going to look really cool if you add them all together. And I like how he just added a whole bunch of things besides this mod, because the main reason he added this mod in was because he wanted to make it more immersive and more unpredictable and stuff like that. But not only did he do that, he also added a basement into it, and he added a whole bunch of partial features to go along with it. And overall, I just like this mod so much, and it's one of my favorite ones so far on this list, and it does not require any DLC, and he says to put it at the top of your load order. If anything is in your load order that should affect this mod, which I don't know really what would, but overall, it's a really, really good mod. Our next mod is basically a 2-in-1, because there's going to be two mods here, but they both basically do around the same thing. And because you have all these mods that improve your gameplay, stuff like that, you might have an issue with your frames per second. And the first mod I have is the FPS Enhancer Pack by Pipboy. And basically what this does is it just basically disables all the god rays and the lens flares in the game. And this isn't really too noticeable, like if you're just playing the game, so I figured I would add it in, so it is going to help your frames per second a lot more than it would if you didn't have it. It's a nice mod if you don't really mind having god rays and like stuff like that being disabled, but if you do like it, you don't have to get rid of it. It doesn't really affect your game too much, but it is going to improve your frames per second if you do install it. But if you don't mind them, I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't, you know, because you're going to get a lot more better FPS. And that's actually me on to this next mod, which is the Disable Lens Flare mod by Nitra. And basically all it does is disable lens flares, and is a performance optimism mod for quality of life that moderate removes all lens flares at the game, and resulting in a slightly higher increased frame rate and more immersive experience. And both of these mods are pretty much compatible with any other mod that's going to not affect your light. I don't know why you would have two light affecting mods, but these ones work together fine, and they do not require any DLC, and overall they're going to increase your frame rate a lot. Our final mod we have is the Reduced Grass Density mod by Nitra, and this is the same guy that made the Lens Flare mod, so you know he's good at this, what he does. Basically, all this does is performance optimism mod again that's going to reduce the density of the grass and the grass clutter objects around the Commonwealth. This includes small rocks, bricks, twigs, grass, mechanical items, and kelp. This will improve your frame rate by a sizable amount depending on where you are in the world. There are 3 variants of this mod available to download as well, the full one, the medium one, and the light one, and this one is going to just remove all debris. That's going to make your frame rate a lot more better. In the compatibility for this mod, he says that it may conflict with other grass mods, but if you do, just make this one a priority and put it at the top of your load order. Overall, this mod is really good, and it does really help your frame rate a lot in the long run because you're not going to load in so much grass, and if you do have a pretty advanced world near a settlement or things like that, it's definitely going to improve your frame rate. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did and go on to enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Like flex on you haters, hi haters. This is my world, so it's all in my favor. I like all girls, yeah, all type of flavors, but that don't matter, cause I just got my baby. Pull up right there in Mercedes, oh I don't wanna like the Navy. For that girl to the sun, done #1 like